What's up, guys? Thought I'd bring you another video. Working on these vinyl plank floors right now. Just wanted to show you a trick real fast on how to cut these without exactly measuring everything out and actually get a better cut and a better measurement than actually just doing it by hand. A lot of times you'll make a mistake trying to use a tape measure and trying to pull that over to your piece, especially when you're making custom cuts going around edges and stuff like that. These squared edges is really simple. There's a really good trick. I'll show you how to do that real fast. It's actually really simple. So like this plank here, as you can see, right there, it has to lock in to that groove. So you have an overhang right here. So you have to account for that. So if you first go and tape measure from the edge of here to the edge of where you're trying to go, you're gonna be short because you forgot to account for the overhang right there. So when you mock this stuff up, you can really get an actual measurement for what you're going for. So like this plank, I lined it up. You know, it's not set all the way in there yet, but we lined it up. We know that that's accounted for on the edge. Come down here. So obviously I'm trying to get around right here where the dishwasher's at. So you just want to line this where you are, account for the gap that you need for your flex, because it's a floating floor, so you're not going to be tight against each wall. So we're one about right here. I've already measured out my gaps. Get a little closer. So you just make a mark right there. So we know we want to come in here, but the problem is now, how far in do we have to go in order to fit into this piece? Well, again, you need to account for pieces. This lip here is going to go right here, is going to go underneath and lock in. So now, if you don't do it this way, you're going to have to measure this piece as well as the width here, try to get it across just fine. But then, if you accidentally measure from the very edge of this little lip, it's going to be off by 1/16 of an inch. So, again, we already mocked up the length this way. So if we want the width this way, take this piece to the end, just like this. We can actually just set it in the floor right now. So we can just mock it up, set it in, it's not locked in. So now I know that I want it to fit in here. So if it was here, where would that mark be? Well, I'll put it in just a little further down, go up next to this wall. Well, obviously I need it right about there. So now we've made a mark here, and we made a mark here. So now you take your straight edge, and you're gonna make a line straight down. You're gonna make a line straight across. Wherever those two meet, that's where you're gonna cut out. Then you can actually go out and do that, and there's actually even easier tool. My favorite tool is gonna be the jigsaw. I love my jigsaw. So I just use, like I told people before, I really love Milwaukee stuff. I'm a huge Milwaukee fan, but I tell you what, this DeWalt jigsaw is actually really cool. I really enjoyed it. It has a lot of power. It works really good. It works well enough. I haven't decided to upgrade to or change out to the Milwaukee on that one, so I'm going to keep that just the way it is. I haven't had any issues with it. So you can go right out, make this custom cut. You don't have to bring out the circular saw. You don't have to go to the table saw. You don't need to go to a bandsaw. I mean, you could do those things, but when you're doing mini custom cuts over and over and over, this jigsaw makes things so much easier. I even rip down lengthwise. I'll take some of my 4x8 sheets of plywood. I'll cut them in half, then I'll take it to the table saw, a little more manageable. This thing comes in handy so much, and there are so many different blades you can use with it. Anyways, took that piece outside. I made those same measurements on this piece. And I can show you how that works. So, again, I never use a tape measure. So let's mock this up real fast and you'll see. So right when we slide it into place, we have exactly the cut we were looking for. So you can see right there. So once I lock this in place, I'm not going to put it underneath here right now because while I'm on the video, I want to make sure I get a perfect fit. So I'll tilt this sideways, put it in, and I'll hammer that edge in there and lock it in. But yeah, if you guys want any other tips or tricks, let me know. I know it seems complicated, but really not. Just practice with a few pieces, maybe do some with some scrap pieces that aren't good. Try to make these custom cuts before you go back to your old way of using the tape measure for everything, because a lot of times you're gonna get a better fit. Doing it this way, it's a lot quicker, it's much more enjoyable, especially where on houses a lot of times, your walls are never straight. You'll find that out and it's really frustrating. You measure everything here, you'll measure maybe everything at the end, you go to fit it, it doesn't fit the center, or vice versa. It fits up here, it doesn't fit at the end. What's wrong? Well, it doesn't look like your walls are crooked, but they are. So when you start doing these custom fits like this, you can start scribing stuff out and it just gets a lot easier. Same with what I did right here. Went right around this post right there. I didn't measure anything. It just dropped right in. All right, guys, have a good one.